I never liked blogs, nor vlogs for that matter. I don't like the words, the concept, nor its usual execution in popular purposes. For instance, I have no time or money saving food recipes to entice the reader in with. I'm completely bereft of any handicraft skills or any technical knowledge, so there's not going to be any DIY moments littered throughout. I'm adverse to the very idea that I have something to say that would be of more importance than the next person with a URL. I'm not popular. I influence no one, not even my son, and I have never held any positions of importance, power, or privilege. Furthermore, the word blog is far too close to the words blob and blog. Objects and places to be avoided at all costs. Both denote a quality of anthropomorphic veracity, as if it will unwittingly, yet sinisterly, draw one in and hold one there with an unrelenting grasp. Vlog, to me, sounds like the letters are actually an acronym for a rarely or ill-reputedly used building found on most university campuses. A place on most sexually active students and fornicating frat brothers' bucket lists. A waste of endowment funds and a structure whose architecture and location changes every 20 years or so to satisfy the burgeoning alumni who owe at least one seedy memory to it. Memories which no doubt grow in importance to stave off the existential crisis of midlife. A vlog is the Botox-injected sports car driving divorcee. Well, at least mine will be. Regardless, this endeavor, like many others, will perhaps fall on deaf ears. I will not hold anyone hostage with my verbiage. I am not deluded into thinking that my words hold power. I'm not aiming for captivating either, as that just glorifies the same notion of manipulating someone away from their own will or desires, or what is in their best interest. So go, do your dishes, walk your dogs, do those taxes. Netflix and chill even. This is simply a suggested stopgap. A photo finish win over scrubbing bathroom grout with an old toothbrush. In short, what I aim to do is simply to make public or conscious that which we all must at some point in life, to fully face myself vulnerably and with some modicum of self-deprecation, wit, and unabashed honesty. These words are not the wax for the poetic, nor slick with the lube of self-deceit and half-truths to placate and probe a fragile ego. Truth be told, these words may surprise the reader, or listener, rather. I'm tired in my older age, and I do not have the energy any longer to romanticize my mistakes and poor decision-making. It may horrify one to hear how I address all facets of my aberrant self with both immense awe and abhorrence. I have done things few would even dream of doing, being that I am so in conflict with the sense common to most everyone else. I have lived with reckless abandon, little to no self-preservation, and with wavering humanity. Anyone with wisdom would live the rest of their lives in atonement for karma accrued. I stagger forward with self-contempt and resignation, yet with a renewed curiosity in the road to salvation. Could my atonement as a single parent, woman and black, be to raise a good human and slip behind him through the pearly gates as one would hack a turnstile in the subway? If I'm good enough to him, would he petition on my behalf? I dare not explore the other Saturnalian options, just even in jest. Could his skin stretch to keep me both warm and hidden like a wolf in sheep's clothing? I hastily started this vlog, it is, and in rereading it, or at least the script of it, I realized that it could be read as me being treacherously close to a ledge. And I was, actually. I might still be. I have always been that way. I was born that way, I think. This is why I've lived a life of such reckless abandon. Like the Fool card in the tarot, I stepped off the precipice willy-nilly, dragging the innocent along with me. And taking a step back, I realized that the internet is an unforgiving place, and that what is written now in haste, or spoken in haste, may come back to both myself and son in unimaginably unkind ways. In revision, I realized that I myself I've been unkind and lacking gratitude to those that have wanted to save this damsel in distress, before realizing that I may have actually been the mirage before the mirror, demanding compliance to my being the fairest of them all. While in a wild wood somewhere, the real queen romps with several homunculi, waiting for the day where she can take her rightful throne. I don't know. I oscillate between heroine and horrid, as is evident as we move through these tentative transcriptions. I will keep what I wrote and previously, and I will speak about it in a few minutes, because it is still true to yesterday's me. It is now just being framed by this foray into literary foreplay, as this vlog, I don't know, is masturbatory at best. a place where I finger through the index of all my life's triumphs and traumas. I will go in and out of readability and listenability, no doubt, as I struggle to stay tantrically present and relevant, and also what is pertinent to the blog that might not be translated here in this vlog. And that might not always mean in terms of a linear time leading to the now, but rather what is pertinent to me. So I ventured back to the ledge below, and I will redirect in the continuing post and hopefully find some firmer footing. And going forward from there, as far as intention toward an artful and accurate retelling of my story. But God only knows where I will go in terms of destination along this journey. So I'm going to quote Soren Kierkegaard, who said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward." So it made me think, is there a governing plot to life? Is there a formula for finding its ultimate meaning? Is life only to be lived forward with staggering purpose and seamless endless edits, or backward with ponderous regard, regret, and shouts for a restitution for a life ill-used? Is it, in retrospect, described by the acts leading to death, to be something, become something, perform something until we die something or nothing? Am I the culmination of cautionary tales or something far more tragic, a prophecy or arbinger of doom? Is my entire existence foreboding? Who determines if a life is worth having been lived? The age and ilk of the corpse, or the lives they've influenced while sanguinated and animated? Am I the anti-hero to a story I dare not finish on my own? And why should I? If many hands make light work, then a grave is dug far faster when everyone at the funeral has their own shovel. And my eyes, glazed and glassy, gaze heavenward as I hold court from 6 feet below. An amphitheater for a single performer, my final show. No doubt parts of this will read as a love letter to all of those who have wished me ill, who have glared an evil eye, and who have cast the darkest of spells over me. To you who do not anticipate that your mere apathy of me was a compliment to my own self-loathing, and your spite was a soothing balm to my soul, your rancorous glances were my rose-colored glasses, your incantations a mere derivative of my own divinations, thus an incomplete recipe. You see, I have tasted the blood from the self-inflicted lip bite of both gratitude and grief. I have kissed the knuckle ring of the king who enslaved me, and I have complimented the shoulder breadth of the axe-wielding executioner. Now is no different. I envy you your subjective hatred of me, where once again I have not been included. Otherwise, we would have made a cohesive objective whole, with myself at the center, whole of the whole, H-O-L-E of the W-H-O-L-E, holding the organism together. Interlocked as we sing in unison around the pyre, my body still smolders. Instead, your piercing and unyielding gaze gives our meta-malice away. Russian dolls of the loathed and loathing, insiders and outsiders, exterior and interior, container and the contained. This is my bark, which is less than my bite, far less than the bite. I offer to all the hands that tried to feed me, a feral monster. I was born under an auspicious moon, and for my entire life I have heard the howls of the many wolves inside me vying for my undivided attention and unconditional love. How could those who tried to get close to help me not see that they were in fact not only part of the pack, but also feeding the very beasts that kept me down? But then again, there are those that were so eager to show me how to pull myself up by my bootstraps, and were the same ones whose boot was crushing my very neck, keeping me down and making it hard for me to breathe. The very same that then have the audacity to reel and appall at my snarl of ingratitude. And yet even that relationship was catastrophically and comorbidly consensual. Poverty and internalized racism make for contradictory and perverse bedfellows. I will address that more in regards to my romantic relationships in the future. But they are a microcosm of these very systems of oppression. In short, I was raised to feed the machine. I was not a cog, a sprig, nor sprocket therein. I was a grist, not the fodder for the mill, crushed into something usable versus utilitarian. The chaff to juxtapose the wheat, and much like the chaff, I am not easily digested and hold little nutritional value. And so it goes. This is my shout into the ether. It is my signature, "Tracy was here," and scraggy etchings on a bathroom stall wall at a rest stop somewhere in the Midwest on the long haul toward either coast. The road that promises not just civilization, but sophistication, metropolitan luxury and refinery. But to what part of speech do I address all aspects of self? Me, as seen through the eye of your eye, shrouded by their awakening, shuddering from our own benevolent godly touch? I am the loathingly detached narrator with the most intimate knowledge of the personal, sacred and sacrilege, used to steer the reader and listener to a greater truth outside these words and perhaps even outside themselves. My voice has never wavered as much as it does now, but I'd be damned if my story is written or told by those who have only experienced it from the sidelines or not even at all. Only retold from hearsay and gossip like a childish game of telephone. This is my journey away from hurt and into healing, from confusion to conclusion. I do not doubt that at times the stories will have some relatability, and I'm willing to share those moments with the reader. But I have lived this, bled this, and am doing so again, clawing for closure for myself and cautioning others with an aggressively read Achtung as I recount what in my healing journey was not effective. I bleed again as I write about what I did, wish I had done, and what I wish I still could do, thereby honoring the ancestors before me and the ones to come. Beginning at our collective one and ending with the last man standing. Let this roadmap, stretching in either direction, radiating from my heart space with an honest intention, and for all of humanity.